2003 Mercedes CLK200. Obviously this is the convertible car. It is worth pointing out this car was subject to an insurance loss. All the details are listed on the description. I have seen the pictures of what it was and it's laughable. It was literally a small dent here, which apparently the guy that owns it at the minute had the dent man pop it out for about 50 quid. And that was it. It's amazing what can write a car off in the eyes of an insurer these days. It really is. As you can see, it's in a light metallic blue. It's all one colour, which is nice. It doesn't look like it's had a whole load of paintwork or anything like that. You've not got a different colour on each panel. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. Start on this front driver's quarter. Like I say, it was here. You can see just in the light, slight sort of haze in the paint there, which is actually where it was pulled out. Again, if anybody wants, we can make those photos available. It's not a problem. Starting at this front bottom corner of the bumper, you've got a little scuff here and a slight scuff there, a tiny chip there. But the arch itself is all nice and clean, no sign of any corrosion or anything like that. Just what you want to expect. It's got 4 good wheels and tyres on it. They could do with maybe a little refurb. There's a tiny bit of bubbling here and there, but nothing that spoils the car at all. The sill is all nice and clean, as is the corner of the wing mirror. That's not sort of scuffed or chipped or been bashed off anything. Driver's door, nice and clean. Doesn't seem to be any marks really on that. It's obviously been a well cared for car. These early 2000 makes do quite like a little bit of rust, especially in this sort of bottom area of the rear quarter, but actually there's nothing on this car at all. In that way, that arch is lovely and clean. All the way along that panel, you've got a tiny little chip here just to, oh no, you haven't, to mark. It's nothing. We took it off for free for you. There you go. There's a small scratch here, just in front of the rear light, and a tiny little blemish there as well on the bumper. But other than that, as you can see, nice and straight, not covered in dents or anything like that. Rear bumper's nice and clean. There's no marks on the corners or anything like that. We do have a slight scratch in it there, with a little bit of lacquer peel above the top, and there is a small sort of crack in the bumper there, but again, nothing to worry about particularly. Nice and clear on the boot lid, that's not covered in dents. Heated glass rear window on this one. It does come with that plate, KWS 200X. It's probably worth a few hundred quid on its own right. On the passenger side now, again, you can see looking down it nice and straight. No sign of any corrosion. It's here in here where they like to go, but it's lovely and clean on this car. Decent sized curb mark there, so worth putting that out on the wheel. This sill, nice and clean. Even the edges of the doors, there doesn't seem to be any marks or chips down there. So it shows you someone's taking some care of it. Corner of the wing mirror is all nice and clean again on this side. There's no marks at all to note on the door. This front wing and the arch again, nice and clean. Nothing to note there. Bonnet, I mean, it's barely got any stone chips. There's 1 or 2 for being really picky, but barely noticeable. You have to get really close to see them. Front bumper's nice and clean. The plate does have a crack in it, so you might want to replace that. And the headlights, because it's a Mercedes, could do with a polish, which every single one I think we've ever had through here, bar maybe 1 or 2, has needed a polish. It's amazing what a difference it can make to the front of the car. Have a look at the interior. So light metallic blue outside, and a sort of dark bluey black leather interior. It does have the sort of aluminium style trim instead of the wood, which is nice. Driver's seat's just what you'd expect from a Merc on about 80,000 miles. Virtually no wear at all. Still nice and firm, nice and clean. Rear seats are like brand new. Headlining's all good, nice and clean. See, these convertible tops get a bit more wear on them, but that's just what you want to see, nice and good. The steering wheel doesn't show any signs of wear or anyone driving around with big rings on or anything like that. It's 89,000 miles, just ticked over 89,004. You've got 2-stage heated seats in the front, CD player, dual zone aircon, cruise as well, auto lights. It's decent spec. It's an avant-garde, so they tend to be the better spec. Have a look on the passenger side. Again, nice clean door card. It's not all been kicked apart or anything like that. This seat shows literally nowhere at all. Really nice and clean, nice and tidy. And the same again in the back. Nothing to complain about at all, really. Now, the boot on the convertibles comes with this ski hatch, which you can fold up or down. You can only fold it away, obviously, when the roof's up, which gives you a bit of extra space. All nice and clean in here. So there's the original plates if you want to take that plate off. We'll have a look under the bonnet and then we'll start it up and get that roof going. So it is a 200, this car, so that's the 1.8. It's quite a nice, happy little engine, especially at the way price of fuel's gone lately. It's a nice, cheap to run car. All nice and clean in there. Strut tops and everything are good. No sign of any real oil dropping or anything like that. It's been with us about a week and a half. It was driven to us from Alnwick, which is about 35, 40 minutes up the road. It's always started for us. Doesn't seem to leave any oil on the floor or anything like that, which is always good. And then the roof is really simple. You just start the car. And then you've got one button. There's no clasps or anything to do. It drops the windows for you. Raises the rear deck lid. Obviously, as it tells you, top in operation. Believe in these CLKs, you can do it on the move at about 5 miles an hour, but it's easy just to stop. There you go. It does have the electric seatbelt, so when you shut the door, it will hand you the seatbelt, which is a nice touch. Very Mercedes. So there you have it. CLK200. Any questions, get in touch.